Hey up everyone, I'm back again. I managed to pick up a new trinket on my travels. This time it's quite a nice one. It's the Xperia Z2 from Sony. This was recently released to supersede the Xperia Z1, which was a prior flagship from Sony, which as you know is quite a big phone in itself and quite powerful. Some would say that this has come along very quickly, perhaps too quickly, when the Z1 was only released at the end of last year. But I think the Z1 was crying out for some improvements to it, which I think that the Z2 has sought to address. As you can see, it's got a similar type of form factor as the last one, but it does look a bit more premium. It feels a lot more lighter as well and easier to hold. The last one was quite cumbersome in the hand. I think that was a general point of criticism that I had of the device. It was just quite a handful, and this one is quite a handful itself, but to me it just feels like it's a bit more ergonomic, even though that technically the screen is larger at 5.2 inches as opposed to 5 inches. You do have some things making a return on the device, such as the camera, which is a 21 megapixel G lens with flash, and it's got the Bion's image processing technology as well, which is quite nice. You do have the ability to plug it into a charging port on the left side of the device if you can't be bothered to reach into the flaps. It does have those flaps again, which I have to say I don't mind them as much as I did with the Xperia Z, which was quite annoying. But with the Xperia Z1 onwards, I found that the flaps are much more solid, and I also like the way that Sony's made it so that you don't have to take out a flap for the headphone jack as well, which is quite annoying on the old Xperia Z. You got speakers at the bottom as well, which you would think would probably be improved from the Z1. We can have a test of those in a bit. I have to say that I'm not really a fan of the glossy type of back on the phone, because I've only owned this for about a week now, and it's already started to pick up some scratches. I'm not sure if my camera is going to be able to pick it up, but basically, if you do look close in real life, you can see some scratches on the surface here, which just basically occurred from having it on, the desk or whatever. Which I'm not very happy about that, because it is a very expensive device. But I do like the way Sony has reduced the bezel size of the device, which was a bit of a complaint with the Z1 when you compare it to things like the LG G2, which really maximizes the screen real estate. They have made the bezel a lot smaller on this model, which is nice. So that does maximize the screen real estate and make it so that you can have a bigger screen in a similar type of form factor. But overall, I'm quite happy with the device in terms of its ergonomics. It certainly feels solid and premium. It does feel like a £500 device. There's no doubt about that. However, I do have the nervousness that I got with the Xperia Z1, that I'm going to drop it or something because of the kind of glossy back and the glass-like construction. So it's probably one that you may need to cover up in a case just to protect it. When you do turn the device on, You're greeted with a 5.2-inch Full HD display, and that's at quite a stunning pixel density of about 424, I think. But the major change here, which most people will be interested in, is the fact that it uses a IPS display now, which is a lot better when it comes to your color reproduction and viewing angles and things like that. Before there was quite a bit of a hoo-ha in regards to the Z1, which it was a premium device, but it had a very below par screen in terms of the viewing angles. Even the Xperia M2 that I've got hanging around, you could see the text and things on there from an angle better than the Z1, which was quite poor, to be honest. But I'm happy to say that this display is absolutely fantastic and has completely rectified the issues with the viewing angles. As you can see, the colours appear very nice, even when you're looking at it from an angle. I'd still say that there's probably a little bit of improvement to go. It's not a perfect screen, but it is getting there, kind of thing. It's to the point where it's no longer an issue when you've got the device on the desk or whatever. You can easily make out stuff when you're looking at it from an angle. So, props to Sony for dealing with the main issue of the device that we had with it before. Aside from the actual viewing angles, you have also good daylight visibility as well, because it's an LCD based technology. It comes with Sony's triluminous technology, an X-Reality engine, which supposedly makes photos and videos appear more contrasty, although I can't really tell the difference between that. But yeah, overall the screen is very nice, fantastic, and props to Sony for really improving it. In regards to the actual specifications, the actual processing package, you're running the latest Snapdragon 801 with it's clocked at 2.3 gigahertz and has an Adreno 330 paired with it. So performance isn't going to be an issue on the device. Absolutely nothing that I've done with the device has really slowed it down. Going in and out of stuff, it's just blazingly fast. It doesn't really matter what you're doing with the device, it just flies. However, I have noticed that really I don't really see any difference now between the speed of this and something like the Nexus 5 or the LG G2. I can't really say like it's definitively faster anymore, or perceivably faster than those devices which are running Snapdragon 800s. So that just goes to show you how these latest processors, they're not really revolutionary, they're more kind of evolutionary. Yeah, the performance may be that little bit more better, but if you're coming from something like the Z1 or the LG G2 or Nexus 5, you're not going to have much of a performance boost, really. Having said that, the performance is very good, coupled with 3 gigs of RAM and 16 gigs internal storage. You're not going to have any issues multitasking or doing demanding stuff like maps. The only real bottleneck, as always, is my connection, but As you can see, it just loads so quickly, and it's kind of like using a PC, like a Core i7 PC. That's the equivalent kind of responsiveness that you get with the device. I've not really run many benchmarks or done much gaming on it, so I don't really know much about that, but I think that's a waste of time really, because it's just going to blow most of the stuff out there away anyway, and it will be in the same league as the Galaxy S5 and HTC One M8. So yeah, specs, you got that sorted. In regards to the actual camera technology, as I said before, you've got this 21 megapixel G lens camera that makes a return. I think it's the same as the last one, but or it could be a bit different. I'm not sure if it's like a better version of the last one, but I've got to say that using the camera on this device just is without a doubt, I'd say, the best camera smartphone there is at the moment on the Android platform, probably on any platform really. It's good in low light, it's good in uh, good light, whatever scene or whatever you're trying to capture in, this will give you a good photo. You don't have to worry about it. You could leave it on Superior Auto, which takes care of all the settings and automatically detects what type of thing you're trying to do at the bottom. But photo enthusiasts may want to go into the manual settings so they can tweak different things. And as you can see, you've got a whole load of stuff that you can tweak, such as create different effects. You can do a time shift video. You can put on AR effects as well, like on the Z1, put dinosaurs on the screen, etc. But I think the most notable change is the fact that it can now record in 4K, which is nice and future-proof, because I think that while 4K is still kind of like not widely adopted yet, I think they will become more relevant as 2014-15 goes by. So that is nice of Sony to add that. It's also you can change the settings if you go into the if I go back, hang on, getting lost now. You can change the actual settings as well, because as before, when you're in Superior Auto, it does default to 8 megapixel. So it would have been nice if they made it 20 megapixel for Superior Auto, but maybe it's something to improve on in future. So if you're using the manual mode, you'd want to bump that up to the 20 megapixel one straight away. And also you can put on HDR, image stabilization, all sorts of good stuff in the camera app that you don't get with the Nexus 5, for example. So taking a picture is really easy and it's fast. It focuses blindingly fast. It's really good for refocusing nice and fast, and taking the pictures fast as well. The full HD recording is very high quality as well. I've not really noticed too much of a difference from the Z1, but I can see that Sony has definitely done some optimizations on the recording just to make it that bit more smoother and immersive. So camera on this device is top end. There's no real competition at the moment on the Android space, although it is interesting to see how the LG G3 compares. In regards to the battery life, you have a 3200 mAh battery in there, which is obviously a very nice amount. I'd say that the battery life, in my usage, it hasn't really been that much better than the Z1. It's probably a little bit better because of the efficiency of the processor and the slightly larger amount, but I think the slightly larger screen, coupled with the slightly faster clocking of the processor, has meant that it's not really that much of a perceivable difference. It still pales in comparison to the LG G2, in my opinion, which is still a fantastic phone for battery life. You know, you've got your Note 3 as well, which is another great phone for battery life. But for most users, you know, they're not going to have any issues with battery life on this device. You have got Sony's suite of optimizations as well, which you can use to really fine tune the settings, like and select which applications you want to whitelist to run. That's great if you've got like 10% remaining and you know you're not going to be next to a charger for hours and you want it to last for ages. So yeah, battery life's decent, but not revolutionary. In regards to the speaker quality and the sound quality of the device, the speaker quality, I'd say, is not really that much improved upon from the last iteration. I can give you a sample just for you to make your own mind up. So yeah, you know, it gets the job done, but again, it's not really that much of an improvement, and I would have expected Sony to take a leaf out of the HTC One's book in terms of getting that sound quality, you know, up to par. I mean, even the Moto G, for example, I think sounds louder than this particular model, which the Moto G is like, you know, a very budget device, and you'd think that this would like destroy something like the Moto G for sound quality. However, when it comes to the headphone quality, then that's a different story altogether. You know, it's absolutely fantastic, and it comes with Sony's suite of like optimizations under the Walkman app, where you can put on clear audio, which makes sound better automatically. It's kind of like superior auto for the like you get with the camera, but it's for the audio. Personally, I like to leave that off and go into the settings and put on like a surround sound profile of like being in the studio, and then use some of these settings as well. Although I'm not really sure what S-Force front surround is, but it sounds quite impressive, so I have to give that a go. But in general, you know, in terms of the sound quality, coupled with the noise cancelling earphones that Sony give you with this device, it's absolutely fantastic and probably better than any other phone that I've tried so far. I think a lot of reviewers have actually praised the device for having one of the best set of earphones with the device, along with the sound quality. So yeah, no issues in regards to earphone or headphone quality. I've not had a chance to test the call quality, but I assume that it will be decent like the Z1. In regards to the software, it is running Android 4.4.2, so not the latest Android, which we're on 4.4.3 at the moment, and they've just announced that a new version is coming out tomorrow, which may be key lime pie. But you know, this is at the end of the day a fantastic version of Android, which should see you through quite a while. Hopefully, the Android director said that they're going to be making it easier for manufacturers to keep devices up to date. So hopefully, Sony will be quite quick on pushing out the new versions of Android. It does come with Sony's suite of apps as well, like I've just said, Walkman, which is quite a good music player. It comes with the ability to control your TV as well, like a remote control. It comes with PlayStation connectivity if you have a PlayStation. I don't have a PlayStation, I have a Xbox, so it's not really relevant for me. But in regards to whether you like these additions, it's up to whether you like you know, a bit of bloatware, or if you like the very stock experience. But personally, I don't mind it. You know, if I'm paying for it, I'd rather have it than not, as long as it doesn't bog the device down too much, and I can safely say that it doesn't. I think the additions that Sony make to the Android experience make the device very professional looking, and the skin is much nicer than the LG G2, for example. I don't hate the LG G2 skin, but you know, when you look at that blackness and the uniformness of it, it's really nice, and it makes you want to take the device out at a business meeting or something. So props to Sony for making a nice skin that you can use with the device. I think in regards to the storage, I did say it does have 16 gigs internal storage, but you can expand that with the micro SD of up to 128 gigs, so you're not going to have any issues there. So yeah, you know, I think that about covers the main things. I'm sure there's other things that I'll discover with my time with the device, but if I do, I'll let you know in an updated video. But my first impressions of the device, you know, it's a very high quality product from Sony, and you know, they're really pushing the boundaries now in terms of what Android can do. I think that there are still some things that Sony can improve on, like the speaker quality, for one, as well as this glossy back which catches fingerprints, and you know, mine's got a few scratches on it already. But other than that, you know, this is a fantastic device and a fantastic evolution of the Z1. And is it worth £500? Well, if you have that much to spend, then yes. But if not, then probably worthwhile sticking with your Z1 or your LG G2 for another year or so, and then wait for this to come down in price. But yeah, I think that about covers it. So this has been a quick review of the Xperia Z2. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe or like it, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.